In this tutorial, you'll build a simple explosion in Niagara using a sprite sheet, a translucent material, and a few key particle settings. You'll set up the system, apply the material, animate the frames, and fine-tune lifetime to create a more energetic explosion effect. You'll need a sprite sheet to follow along with this tutorial. I have a link to the image I'm using in the description. To build the explosion, start by creating a new Niagara system. In the content browser, right-click, go to the Niagara system, and choose Empty System. Finish creating it and give it a name like ns_explosion. Double-click to open it. Now you can begin setting up the look of the effect. The first thing you need is a material for the sprite sheet. In the content browser, right-click and create a new material, naming it something like m_explosion. Open it in the material editor. Under the Edit menu, open Editor Preferences and search for Substrate. Make sure to turn off the Substrate Materials option. Select the material output and change the blend mode to translucent. Drag in your sprite sheet texture. Connect the material to the base color and the opacity. Then apply and save the material. Now go back to the Niagara system. Click on the Add button next to Renderer and select Sprite Renderer. Assign the material you just created. Make sure your source material is changed to emitter. At this point, the system is ready to display the texture, but it still needs particles to show anything on screen. To do that, go into Emitter Update and add a spawn rate module. Set it to 1. You can choose to fix the issue. This just moves the spawn rate down in the stack. In the Sprite Renderer, find the Sub-UV option and set the grid to match your texture. If your sheet is arranged in 3 columns and 3 rows, enter 3 by 3. This tells Niagara how to split the texture into individual frames. Click on the plus button next to the emitter update and add Sub-UV animation. For Sprite Renderer, change this to Sprite Renderer. After that, go to the particle update and add Sub-UV animation. Make sure it uses the Sprite Renderer. When you play the system again, the frame should start cycling in sequence. If the animation feels too slow or stretched out, the next thing to adjust is the particle lifetime. Select emitter state and change the life cycle mode to self. Compile and save the system. Once everything is set up, you'll have a convincing explosion built entirely from a sprite sheet. It's a fast and efficient way to make VFX like fire, smoke, sparks, and bursts without needing a full simulation. What would you like to learn next in Unreal Engine VFX? Let me know in the comments, and your suggestion might become the next tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.